Dirty, yeah, dirty popcorn.
Cameras is rolling, lights, camera, action, we gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling, lights, camera, action, we gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling, lights, camera, action, we gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling, lights, camera, action, we gon' make movies. Dirty.
Real talk, man.
Real fucking talk.
You know, being a creative, man, it like showed me the possibilities where life can go. You know, it can be up, it can be down.
Yeah.
You know, I really feel like being a creative, I had to really have my mental right because, you know, with this, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some.
For sure.
But if you put the work in, things can happen for you, you know? Yeah. You know, I feel like since we've been on this journey, we went this way, went that way, but like, it definitely opened up a lot of doors for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of knowledge, a lot of experience.
Yeah, a lot of experience, you know. Like, how you feel like these last couple years been?
Amazing. Like,
right.
I don't think there's not a thing we haven't touched.
Facts.
From corporate music videos, hip hop, country, rock, concerts,
lifestyle,
ESPN, fucking
SoundCloud. You know, not even to be dropping names, but it's just, you know,
Pornhub, like all types of shit. Like,
yeah, we filmed it all. Done it all. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think about like how this journey been, you know. But it's like this saying that I'll look at the Wizard of Oz. You know, it's, you know, no pun intended that your name Oz. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the fact that like Dorothy was just, you know, she was trying to get away. You know what I'm saying? She had big dreams to get away. And then when she got away, it was almost about getting back home, you know. But then getting back home, she knew she had to take a journey, but it wasn't about her by herself. It was about the people that she met on that journey, you know, and them all finding that inner, you know, that whatever inner thing that they're all looking for, you know, the lion, he wanted heart, you know, Tin Man, you know, he was looking for, you know the storyline, but in the sense of like, it's really about the journey, you know, and I have to say this journey has been such of a blessing, you know, to be able to like tap in because like, you know, me starting out as rapping, you starting out as producing, you know, like, now I'm directing and then you're also scoring, you know what I mean? And also so many different levels of growth, and I think it's just been about us putting our passion, you know, just dealing with the game, because the industry got games, everybody got games, you know what I'm saying?
With the world that we're in, the industry that we're in, it's a lot of learning.
Yeah, a lot of learning.
Like, as soon as you think you know something, you always run into new people, different type of personalities.
Facts.
The moment you think you know how some shit work, like, you realize it don't work like that in this area. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna definitely lose some in this industry. You're not gonna get everything that you think you're gonna get or be able to charge your worth 100% of the fucking time. Like, it's a lot of give and take, a lot of negotiation in our business sometimes. Like,
that's facts, bro.
Like, especially starting out when you try to make a name for yourself and get your work out there, like, it's a lot of give and take. Like, everyone in this is a creative and, you know, artsy individual, and we all know how that is. Like, you have your starving artists, people who are trying to make it to the top, and this is an expensive industry.
Yeah.
From music to filming, like, so not everyone has top dollar to pay, so you're gonna have to do a lot of collaboration to get your name out there for whoever you're working with.
Hold on, and the fact that I got to touch on something major, the fact that being black in this industry is one of the hardest things, because as the black creative, you know, we're not, nothing against any white creatives or doing film and stuff like that, but they have years experience. They've been doing film and videos for many years before us. I feel like the black videographer just got in the game in the last 6-7 years, you know what I mean? And we're still trying to find our position, still trying to find our voice, you know, trying to show, and then the fact that we come from the mud, like straight up and down. I keep it like from a personal story, like, you know, videography can get you out the hood. It used to be drugs or basketball, sports used to get the urban kid out the hood. Now these urban kids is, we're picking up the camera and the gimbal's taking us up out the hood now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it took me out the hood. If I didn't pick up the camera and the gimbal, I probably wouldn't seen all the things and walk through these doors and all the brands and businesses and the visuals that we talked about. Like, I mean, for you and us, it's like, it's not one of them things. It's not a common thing. You don't think, okay, I like music, I'm gonna go jump into audio and start scoring movies and stuff. It doesn't.
No, I wasn't on the radar. I just was into, making music and just making good vibes.
Right.
But how I always approached my music, I always envisioned the music video with my beats that I was making.
Right.
Before even the song, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up watching a lot of different movies from all types of genres. So I'm half white, half black. So I grew up a lot on Italian mob movies, from my grandparents, I'm half Sicilian. And then with my dad, growing up paid in full.
Right.
Whole other side of the spectrum.
Right,
so
right.
I have a wide range of culture in my.
I mean, it's very important. Not to cut you off, it's very important, you know what I'm saying, to be able to see that, go from a Spielberg all the way to a Hype Williams. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different ranges of visuals out there, different sounds of music out there, from, like you said, one side to this side. And it's all about influence and who showed you, me growing up watching MTV, I saw a lot of different variety of music videos. Yeah. MTV really sparked my interest in music, period, tell the truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially when they were playing videos all day. I wish they would bring that back, you know what I mean? Or at least have a platform where it was more geared around the energy of what MTV did. It inspired so much, you know what I mean?
I remember being young, just, when MTV, BET, they had the same 15.
Yeah. 106 in Park,
same 15
TRL.
videos on loop.
Yeah, facts.
Just would just sit on the floor just watching them shits over and over and over again.
We were glued to them. I mean, 106 in Park, we was trying to see who was going to be on the countdown the next day. TRL, people used to run them down to in New York and want to be in the window. You know what I'm saying? Where's that energy at?
You always had that favorite song or favorite video that you're yo, I need that to come on. You'd be ignoring the rest of the videos until you heard your one shit.
Yup. It was just the vibe, just that time period. It was very nostalgic and it drove a lot of creatives. Nowadays, with the internet being there and the fact that we can see a lot more visuals now and everything is more visual over sound, I love it, but then there's also it makes things watered down too. You know what I mean? Where you can't find who's hot anymore because it's just everybody's hot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Back then it was just these 10, 20 people were hot and you just knew that they were hot. You know what I mean?
And there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
It gives a chance for everybody to be somebody now.
Yeah, facts.
But at the same time, it's who's top dog. There always has to be a top elite dog, and it's kind of hard to figure that out now because careers are lasting 3 years, 5 years now. If you know what I'm saying? To where you got other people who ran decades.
Yeah.
And those are people we grew up on, Hove, Nas.
Yeah.
You name it, M.
Yup. And then even on the video side, shooting wise, you got Hype, you got Director X, you got Benny Boom, you got Spike, you got the Hughes brothers. They ran decades. Now even a director, music video director, he gets about a year, you know what I'm saying, to have a hot year.
Yeah.
And then after that hot year, cause you burned out, all the artists wanna work with you because you hot, you know what I'm saying? And so you're gonna take every bag, you know what I mean? You're gonna work with all these artists, but then the next year it's somebody else come up, now they're on to the next person.
It's I feel with music video directors in the industry, it's just that flavor is what's popping.
Facts, right.
And then once you've had that flavor for so much, the industry wants to switch it up. People have just seen that flavor and aesthetic forever, and it's all right, well, we need to bring somebody new into the picture because it gets redundant. Anybody gets redundant.
Yeah, but then but not like I said. But then there's Hype. You got Hype who came with a certain look. But every video, even though you know it was a Hype video, the man had one of the strongest runs in music video history.
I'm not saying that you're done. After someone new comes in. Because you solidified yourself.
Facts.
You know, Director X is still getting hired.
Yep.
Spike's still getting hired.
Yep.
Like, now people know what to come to you for. No, people know, oh, I'm gonna hire Jet for this. I'm gonna hire Oz for this. Just because you had your run in the industry and you was on the screens at 24/7, once you're not on the screens 24/7 anymore and someone new comes in to give a new flavor and aesthetic to the industry, doesn't mean you're done. Like, it just means now you're in that pool of the greats.
Right.
And you're one of those options to pick from.
Yeah, but then that's where the cause the level up, right? We got the level up game.
Absolutely.
When I first started out, I had an idea that I was gonna shoot, 100 videos, and I was only charging $150, which sounds crazy right now, but it wasn't about the money for me. It was about actually having 100 videos. And I knew that if I charged the base price that I knew I could make money at, I could get my name out there. It was more about getting my brand out there, my name out there. So in 1 year, I shot 200 videos. The next year, I saw the slow up from people. You know what I mean? Granted, my name was out there, but but what that did help me do, it helped me say, okay, now we got to get into building a team. Now I got to go from a videographer, cameraman, which I hate that term. Cameraman is just super degrading in a sexual way.
So with that being said, 'cause I know exactly where you're going. You've come a long way since the first camera you've ever bought, right? And I think we know with clients and people, it's always kind of surface level. Like, they're always just hiring you to get their final product back to them. They just know you are the guy that's going to give them the video back. They don't know, oh, you're the director who is in pre-production, on the film set, and in post-production. You carry an array of skill sets of storytelling, understanding lighting, you have more than just
study.
You know, you're more than just the person who hits the record button and then cuts some video up. Like, it's way deeper than that. But for most clients, it's surface level. So with all that being said, how do you feel when people do call you a cameraman or videographer, knowing that you have so much more than that?
Well, I mean, like I said, me personally, the cameraman thing is just like, clients are not educated enough to know the lingo. So what they see is a guy and a camera. So it's instantly in your mind, go cameraman. You know what I mean? Like it's that simple. It ain't even like, let me think anything deeper, you know? But really that term is really a videographer, because a videographer, he shoots, he's the DP, he does the audio, he does the lighting.
So would you even say there's a difference between a cameraman and a videographer?
Yes, I think, yeah, for sure. I think, because it's also a mentality, right? Like I said, it goes back to the urban kid, right? Because right now I'm talking to the urban people mostly in the mindset of, you grab a camera, you grab a gimbal, you just looking for any rap artist to give you an opportunity to shoot something. And
that's a cameraman.
That's a cameraman. Okay. Your stuff is still on auto. You barely know the camera. You know what I mean? Like, you know nothing about lighting. You watch the tutorial on YouTube from like maybe YG Imaging or Creative Writing or something. You know, that's probably the point where most people start off, or if they might not, or they start off with Jacob Owen, somebody like him.
For sure.
You know,
the basics.
The basics.
Get the fundamentals.
Get the fundamentals. It's not even fundamentals yet.
True that. It's just you learn something real quick to go try.
It's a quick Google. You know what I mean? Like, how do I use this camera, or how do I get into music videos? I want to shoot music videos. Like, that's what they're Googling. How do I shoot music videos? And these people are probably going to pop up the most because they have a certain platform that's target to that type of person.
Makes sense.
You know, so once you understand that, okay, I'm cameraman and it out here, you're just gonna do whatever. You're gonna, you know, you might shoot a wedding. You might do your girl's hair video. You just taking anything. You know what I mean? Any kind of lifestyle shots.
When is the level up to videographer?
I think videographer is a mindset. That's when you're starting to look for things different, and you're starting to think about filmmaking and storytelling.
Understood.
because when you get into videography, being a videographer, you got to know lighting. I think that's the first thing. Lighting is key outside of audio, you know, what you do. You know what I'm saying? Learning the lighting, learning the audio, learning electricity, which be G&E and stuff like that, art direction. I think that's when you're starting to think about a core of people outside of yourself. And then you're starting to, that's that level up when you're spreading yourself thin too, when you start to say like, you know what? Darn, how can I hold the camera and do sound and do, you know, playback at the same time? You know what I mean? You fumbling with your phone, hitting the phone.
You might be doing sound and the video all at the same time. But at least it's a level up of quality from cameraman.
Yes, from cameraman. So then you're thinking a little bit more, and that's pushing you to like I said, level up. And then that's when you start noticing like me, it's like, okay, I'm not a cameraman, I'm videographer, man. I'm tired of doing all these things on set. I'm gonna start bringing people on set. You know, when I first came on, I brought my girlfriend on set. You know what I mean? At that time.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're going from the next level of videographer to what would be director?
Yeah, but that's a whole nother step. That's when you start building your crew, you know what I mean? Gotcha. And understanding that, and that goes back to earlier what
you have to be a videographer and all these other things first.
Yes, I think, yes, you have to. Because you gotta understand that pre-production, that word is so big and it's skipped over. Because a lot of videographers right now that you look on YouTube and see videos for, they're running dolo solo. They got the camera in their hand. They're on auto. They're not thinking about anything manual. They're just like boom, boom, boom. Let me get back home. Let me cut it up. Let me just add a whole bunch of effects. Go YouTube how they did this effect in this last video I seen this dude do. So I'm just cutting and cutting. You really not storytelling. You just really on vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You bringing vibes. You know what I mean? So that
you're finessing.
You finessing, facts. So then that takes you back. Like I said, it goes. But everything stems from filmmaking, right? Filmmaking the filmmaker is always at the top. It's like a tree. You get what I'm saying? And then
break it down.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. So you got the filmmaker, right? The filmmaker, he's storytelling. He's thinking about script. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's rules to filmmaking. You know what I mean? Like, you know, 180 degrees this, you know, all these angles and cameras and lights. What's a key light, you know, backlight, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
lighting patterns,
Rembrandt.
Shooting short, shooting broad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So the filmmaker, he's studying. Now, do most filmmakers from back in the day, they went to school for that, you know, like going to film school. This generation's YouTube filmmakers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you gotta study a lot of movies. You gotta look up what these things are on YouTube. You could just Google like, you know, what is a film crew? You know what I mean? You know, understand like, okay, let me get into like film tools. Let me get film tools on my app because that's gonna give me all the tools that I need, from dollies to grips, you know, clamps, knowing what a C-stand is, because you gotta know what the stand is to actually hold the light.
Absolutely.
You know, and then
I think definitely as a director, you have to know a little bit about every department.
Department.
You have to communicate what you want on set.
Yeah, I mean, you're as a director, you're in charge of. When I first started my first video, I was in charge of 30 people on set. You know what I mean? Like, and it could be overwhelming, but at the same time, if this is what you want to do, then you need to study and you need to prepare yourself and be ready for that moment. Because a lot of these young videographers are not ready for that moment. That moment's crazy.
The director moment?
The director moment with the budgets.
Okay.
Because the budgets is different.
Yeah.
We're talking money now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't
fuck the money up.
Nah,
fuck the money up, you out the game. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So it's like understanding like, okay, you dealing with street dudes who might give you anywhere from 250 to maybe 1,000. A young videographer, he might get 1,000, maybe. Now that might be from some drug dealer who's really pushing and wants to rap.
He got some cameraman work, he got some videography.
Yeah.
He got some good finessing.
Yeah, he got some finessing. So he might get that, but we're talking directing music videos on another level. That's video commissioners.
Yeah.
You know, that's being a vendor to the record label. And we're talking
product placement.
We're talking $30,000, and you know what I'm saying?
Like even like technical deliverable specifications, like having having to have the audio and like IPC.
Yup.
Was it IPCM?
IPCM, yeah, it is IPCM. Yep. Yeah.
Or delivering in a WAV file.
Yep.
Like for instance, with audio, there's certain deliverables of like hertz, loudness, because there's loudness standards like -14 LUFS.
Yeah.
Broadcasting standards, like for real film, you can't have anything louder over -24 LUFS. And it might be a different standard now, but from my knowledge, from what I'm understanding, and remember, it's -14, or not -14, -24 LUFS. So you gotta understand even deliverables and like even color grading. You have to, in color and light, when you're doing HDR deliverables, there's specifications and technicalities of like you have to have it under 1,000 nits or 10,000 nits. Even for like Netflix, they're coloring, when you color a video for Netflix, totally different deliverable than it is.
Yeah, for some YouTube stuff. Because YouTube, I mean, let's get to the basics of the fact that the average videographer, he's taking the MP3 and putting it on and editing over an MP3 when he should be using a wave.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's not even thinking that the audio quality of the visual is gonna set you apart from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because YouTube is gonna crush your shit. You know what I mean?
And then when you get into the bigger bracket, like it starts to be more expensive, like because the industry wants a certain quality of camera.
Yep.
They want everything delivered in ProRes 422 HQ.
Yep.
Those video files, even if it's a 3-minute video, are 20 gigabytes per video. So now you have to pay more for storage. Backing your storage up in case you lose it.
Mad hard drives. Mad hard drives.
It's a whole different step up than when you're just dealing with your regular.
And there's a difference between editing 1080p, editing 4K, 6K, and 8K.
Now
you know what I mean?
You gotta have better computers now.
Better computers now. Facts.
Everything just levels up.
But then
not just everything you're doing on set. Understand, like you have your whole operation.
The investment. You know, I mean, I've spent. God darn, I don't even want to think about all the money I spent in this game.
Tens.
And then, but it makes me think about all the equipment that I didn't need too. You know what I mean? Like, I really wish that there was people speaking how we speak, and so I knew what gear not to waste my money on, because gear come out every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the iPhone. You know what I mean? You like, damn, but.
Unless it's something really special.
Yeah. Like, it's really no point.
Like,
I
still use the Sony A7 III, still putting out great quality image.
For sure.
And there's cameras that have been out after that camera that are shitting on it.
Yeah.
I would say the A7S III, great. FX3, FX6, fire. Komodo, fire.
Yeah.
Z-Cam, definitely fire.
Yeah, Z-Cam, fire.
But even though I don't have those things, with the knowledge I have learned as a filmmaker, a videographer, learning the real fundamentals, learning lighting, learning how to color grade, I'm still able to make that camera look amazing.
Yes.
I can make a fucking iPhone look amazing.
But that goes into the understanding of studying. Like, before I even had the Red, I studied up on the Red. You know what I mean? I wanted to know how it worked, and then when I was able to get the Red, it was just like, okay, grab the camera and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that goes, like I said, goes back to the cameraman who's just gonna grab the camera, not know anything about anything going on in the manual, and he's just gonna go out and shoot, and just kind of just hope the edit and everything comes together. You know what I'm saying? But
and that the YouTube world is it's a good and bad thing.
Yeah.
And the way it's a good and bad thing is it can be a lot of like keeping up and trying to be keeping up with the Joneses on what type of camera you're buying. Like we see so many people go and buy the next new camera that just came out.
Insecurities, bro.
Just to say, oh, I got that quality.
Facts.
But storytelling is still shit.
Yeah.
Not dissing nobody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But, and then the good part of it is there's a lot of knowledge on YouTube.
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
There's a lot, like Indie Mogul.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Indie Mogul.
Yeah, shout out to Indie Mogul.
Aperture.
Sure. Yeah. There's big brands to help
everybody that's spreading knowledge.
Yeah.
Everybody that's spreading knowledge, like, you can definitely
full-time filmmaker, all that. You know what I'm saying?
They're giving a lot of knowledge on YouTube at the same time.
Master classes now. You know, you can, things that weren't really available, not even like 6 years ago when I first started out.
And people giving you sauce, too.
there weren't even no gimbals available at that time. DJI was just dropping in, you know, the first Ronin at 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, people were running with the Osmo.
Yeah.
The Osmo had the camera on it, and they just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much has gone into it as far as investments. But one thing you said that I was peeping is the insecurity part, right? Mm-hmm. Because as a creative, sometimes we get a little insecure about our work, you know, because people hear things like how we talking right now, and they might not feel that they're ready to actually put their work out there. But I always tell anybody that's asking me for information is like, yo, the more you shoot, the better it looks. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just got to get out there and shoot, and the confidence will grow. Yeah. But don't be afraid to drop the content either. Even Absolutely. If you ain't getting likes in the comments,
Absolutely.
You have Absolutely. You got to put yourself out there as much as possible.
Because not only are you going to get the love from dropping it, mm-hmm. but you might get the necessary critiques.
Yeah.
And you can't be scared of the critiques. Honestly, I don't think anybody in any profession should ever want to be perfect or to move as they're perfect.
Yeah.
Because you will miss out on a lot of lessons that are necessary. Life in anything that you're doing, but especially in filmmaking, because it's an ever-evolving thing, mm-hmm. lessons are absolutely necessary of dealing with people, dealing with gear, running into issues. Like, I mean, unless you've done that studying on YouTube and reading in books that you know shit like that, but it ain't nothing like real world experience, putting work out, receiving feedback, like mm-hmm. that person
mentorship.
That person-to-person interaction when you're actually dealing with other people's opinions, other people's knowledge. It's a whole different game.
Well, I mean, that's, as an artist, we're here to express ourselves. You know, as we have to get over that threshold and just get shit done.
Yeah.
You got to stop complaining and overthinking and just get shit done. You have to put everything, your passion, your drive, your discipline, mm-hmm. your spirituality, whatever it may be, whatever that kick may be, you have to gumbo all that up, and you just really have to put yourself out there, because if you don't put yourself out there, it'll never happen.
Facts.
It's not like somebody's gonna come knocking at your door and say, hey, here's an opportunity for you. Mm-mm. You have to create the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And one thing I always speak on as a creative too is like, yes, get your worth. It's about getting worth, right?
For sure.
It's about getting worth.
Yeah.
But you cannot create, here I'll say, money can't motivate you to create. You have to create first.
Yeah.
And the money will come. You know what I mean? Some opportunities in the beginning, I just took them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I knew it was gonna help me. I got on them film sets and I was an intern. I paid dues, you know what I'm saying? If I found a dope creator and they could teach me something, I would help them on the low just so I can learn. It wasn't about me getting any money from it. It was about me getting that education.
Yeah, and developing that muscle memory too.
Yeah, for sure.
If the only time you pick up your camera or use your software is when you're getting some money, I really hope you're getting paid off then.
Yeah.
Because we all know when you're not using that camera or using that software, you go back to like, oh fuck, what's this button do again?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that shortcut again?
Exactly.
And then you're slowing your own self down, because the only time you being creative is when you get $1 in your pocket. And if you're doing it for that reason only, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you create, you can you can make a whole campaign for yourself. Mm-hmm. Branding, we ain't gonna get deep into your branding yet, but you can make a whole campaign for yourself and put yourself out there, and people will see your value, and then you could charge whatever you want at that moment.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's important to just keep creating and shooting, because you gotta perfect your craft.
Yeah.
It's like I take this thing like an athlete. I take it like athlete / karate. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I've always moved. I moved like I was trying to get more belts, And then I looked at it as like I was an athlete and I needed to train like an athlete, you know? I was practicing step movements, and I go to the gym, I be doing some crazy shit in the gym and people be looking at me like, oh, what is he doing? Because I'm holding the weight like this, like how I would hold the camera, because I had to get my arms ready to hold that camera all day. You get what I'm saying? So I was doing movements like that, but at the same time,
dedication.
Yeah. It's
a mindset.
It's a mindset. You look at a Jordan, you look at a Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Like the way they put their time and energy. So you have to practice like that when nobody's looking.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
To be practicing, like even when we're in the psych wall room, you know, we're setting up product shots, building sets.
Yeah.
Just to be prepared to be creative later on.
Yeah, you got to be ready to get in the game. Coach call you into the game.
Yeah.
You got to be ready. And that's what I say. I see a lot of people creating stuff, but not really ready for to get in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's preparing yourself to be in the game and make that move. You know, but like I said, that goes back to that insecurity and having that strength, and also having belief.
Absolutely.
But the belief is everything, because nobody's ever gonna believe in you but you.
Yep. And you gotta show and prove.
You gotta show and prove.
And I think a lot of people don't put their work out because they lack the mindset, they lack the discipline. And instead of saying, yo, I'm gonna bounce back from this L, they're like, oh, I'm ass, people ain't gonna fuck with me no more.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not the truth. Like, if you come back stronger than ever and you put out some phenomenal ass fucking work, people can't help but be like, yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, you can't deny hot work. You can't deny hot work, and you can't deny a motherfucker got hustled. And
you gotta have a profit-only mindset.
Yeah.
Like what is worrying about haters doing for you? They're not putting no bread in your pocket.
No,
they're not putting no comments on your post.
No.
They're not giving you no likes. Fuck you care about a hater for it.
No.
They're doing nothing but creating debt to you because they're distracting you.
As long as the client's happy.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because this is a magic trick. You know, what we doing here is like, we taking something that ain't even really there and then go boo, 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 and bang, here you go. And they're like, wow. And that's what I love about this. To be able to go, you know, when I first started without the treatments, because you could give them a treatment and say, this is what your video is gonna look like.
Yeah.
But before the treatment, sometimes I still to this day, I still do, love just getting the artist, telling them, yo, meet me at this location. They don't know what they about to walk into. We go ahead and we shoot, bang, and then I'm giving that video, and then just seeing that reaction and seeing them look at that video and like, yo, I really see myself as a star. And then it motivates them. Now they go back to the studio, they pushing harder on the music. They come back like, yo, you know what? Yo, last video I only had 500. Yo, I got 1,000 for you now because they believe in you. And they invested in us. You get what I'm saying? Without the clients, we wouldn't be able to have the things that we have.
I think a good note to end off on is picking your clients wisely.
Yes, for sure.
Because there ain't no need to, I mean, sure, if people paying that good dollar amount, sure, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have to take that bread.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
If they paying that good bread. But
for sure.
Definitely work with people that resonate with you and get it. Because ain't nothing better than when you're moving in harmony with someone who gets it. They're ready to work, you're ready to work, and y'all just knocking stuff out. Ain't no struggle, ain't nothing in the
friction.
way.
No, there's nothing to that.
Y'all just getting to work and putting work out to create abundance and manifestation for yourself. And that's real talk.
Yeah, that is real talk.
That's real talk.
That's definitely real talk, you know. You know, Oz, I think right now, just having this conversation, I hope this reaches creatives. Yeah. And, you know, they can actually learn from this and build off this and be able to actually take that next step to the next level.
Absolutely.
Dirty.